Hey everyone, it's Rob Ryder on Monday, March 11th, 2019. I own City of Greenville, not Boardwalk. Rob Ryder, hey, that's my avatar. Email address is courtofrecord@aol.com. Phone number 616-712-6179. And please donate. I spent all my money on Greenville. If you can, donate. PayPal account is robryder@aol.com. You could use your credit or debit card by sending me an email with the amount you want to donate, and I will send you a request via PayPal for that amount, and you can use your credit card or debit card, or you can send it in the mail. Robert Allen Ritlewski, 10955 14 Mile Road Northeast, Rockford, Michigan, 49341-8664. And somebody from Chicago, you sent me a nice yellow package last week, and you hoped it was in time, and it was. Thank you so much for your help. I really do appreciate it. I've had a lot of help here the last couple weeks, and took the immediate burden off, and I actually had a little extra money, so I bought the City of Greenville. And I'm going to show you what that's all about. So hang on just a second. Let me load some documents up. Be right back. So in my last video, which you would find on Rob Ryder, ROBBBRYDER, on YouTube. Hey, we're looking at it right now. I did a video called Ticket to Ride with a plate with no name. And it was a story about how I'd gone to town and I got stopped by the police and they wondered about my plate. I have my car that has SAMPL on it. Sample, without the E. And, well, I'll leave that story for the ticket I got and so forth, for the email I did before. I had also talked about these other two issues I'm dealing with, which is the American National, the American National Red Cross and the American Legion, both of which are supposed to be congressionally created corporations, given certain powers and duties under the patriotic societies that they're supposed to be parts of, or the body of, I should say. And as it turns out, the American National Red Cross, it's a corporate body politic, which is really what a city is. And I believe that's where we're supposed to go register as American nationals to be seen as an American national. But more on that later. You know, this video is really just what I did because of this issue that I had, and I got issued this ticket is what I had happen. And so I complained about it, and that's what the last video was about. And I'll show you some of that in just a second, but this was the video. Now, in the video last week, I showed that I had found this liability claim incident report form. Actually, Dana found it up in Kalkaska. And so I had a blank copy, so I just filled out little pits, because everybody in all the municipalities in Michigan apparently are parts of this. It's called the Michigan Municipal League. And then the league has this Michigan Municipal Risk Management Authority. And so I said, what the hell, I'm going to fill out this complaint form and send it in. I haven't heard anything on this yet, and this really isn't the reason for the video either, but it's just what I had done. But I put the property damaged where it was my Robert Allen Ritlewski under my FEIN, because I have an EIN for my full legal name. It looks something like this. All right, employer identification number 82-3654127. Robert Allen Ritlewski, 10955 14 Mile Road Northeast, Rockford, Michigan, 49341. And it's interesting, they don't put the 8664 on when you do your SS4. And I had called the IRS about this soon after I had done it, and this is your physical location. The IRS considers this your physical location of your business, right? So your business physical location includes your name and the address without the +4. Um, but when they send your determination letter afterwards, it'll have the +4 on it. And so, you know, whatever all that means. See, like here, they sent it from a +4, but they didn't give me a +4, but they have a +4. Where's my +4? Mine's 8664 according to what I can find, so why wasn't it put on here? This is the jots and tittles of the law, again, we're dealing with, these kinds of things, right? So without really getting into this claim form, which was just something to do because I had it and I wanted to put it in, and I said I had the witness was the state of Michigan because it's this, it's their form that they've created the crime, or that they've committed their crime on, so they're my witness. And the simulated legal process police report was the ticket that I put on. See, attached 2-page testimony and 1-page simulated legal process. I signed it, and I attached the complaint that I had sent to the City of Greenville in the first place. And this is all in the video I did, so I'm really not going to go through this again. Pointing out that these things were wrong. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 6, 6. Where is 1 at? Oh, 1's way down here. Right there it is, 1. Okay, so we might talk about those for just a second. So, what was 1? 1, Steve DeWitt. It might be just easier to look at this. Now we're just talking about this part down here. What's wrong with that? Well, Steve DeWitt is not the name found in any real ID compliant Michigan identification. Steve DeWitt is not the name of any individual certified by the Michigan Commission on Law Enforcement Standards, that's known as MCOLS, as a law enforcement officer. Steve DeWitt has no standing to declare anything officially or under penalty of perjury. Steve DeWitt has no authority to issue a state of Michigan uniform law citation until Steve DeWitt can provide proof and evidence by certificate issued by MCOLS that the name Steve DeWitt was certified as law enforcement officer. Then the individual known as Steve DeWitt is impersonating a police officer. This MCOLS certificate must be filed with the city at the time of Steve DeWitt employment. So where is it? In other words, that's all about the fact that they're not using their full legal name. If you have a real ID compliant driver's license in Michigan, it's going to have your first name, middle name, last name, no initials, no nicknames. The thing called the full legal name according to the federal government, which you can find in 6 CFR for Code of Federal Regulations, 6 CFR Part 37. I call it the Real ID Act, but that's, that isn't its proper name, but that'll get you there. And it'll tell you that it's an identification used for official purposes with the federal government. And so after 2020, if you don't have one of these, you can't get an airplane. You can't get in a federal building. You can't get in a federal nuclear plant. All sorts of things you won't be able to do if you don't have a federally recognized official identification in your full legal name. Well, Steve DeWitt isn't anybody's full legal name. And if it is, well, then show it to me. Right? But if it isn't, well, you can't declare under penalty of perjury because you can't say I under that name. That isn't you. This is why they give people an official name, so that, you have a name to use in legal matters. Anyways, it said I had violated a local ordinance and committed a misdemeanor, but made no mention of any City of Greenville ordinance. The instrument does not provide any proper legal citation of any ordinance, rule, or law that was violated. I have not been informed of the nature and cause of my accusations. On and on and on. I really don't want to read this again because this isn't really what any of this is about. So, but I had done all this, sent this to them, filed a claim, sent this to them. And what I have been asking for in my complaint to them was return me my property. You took my plate. I paid for that plate. It says sample on it. I have a receipt from the Secretary of State. Paid $10 for it. And they took my plate. I wanted it back. Well, I kind of started what's going on now. And so my latest thing, which should just be hitting the streets today, is that I went to the state of Minnesota, because you can go there online and you can file fictitious name filings. And so I did. And so now I have from the Office of Minnesota Secretary of State, a certificate of assumed name for the assumed name City of Greenville at the principal place of address, which is in Greenville, Michigan, that Robert Allen Retluski, me on my all caps, are the owner. And I did put Unit 55 in here because that is my address now. I've updated the IRS and so forth. And that 55 comes from the fact that the last two numbers of your street address on a single residence makes your delivery point or something like that. And it's a unique mailing location, right? So I wanted that to be part of my address. Anyways, hey, forgetting that, according to this document, I own City of Greenville, right? Now, I had gone to Lara, right, which is where all the corporations are registered in Michigan, and put in City of Greenville. No record found. Try a new search. And so I did try a new search. I just put in Greenville. And I thought maybe there'd be City of, right, or something, but there's City Club. And I wanted to see, because it gave me, see, this is the new bits of information on this ticket. I'm talking about City of Greenville, but the person that issued the ticket is called the Greenville Department of Public Safety. Well, that isn't the City of Greenville. See, nowhere on here does it say City of Greenville. It just says Greenville, right? If it said city, then it should be City of Greenville. That's the name of the city according to the charter. It's not Greenville. Down here, city should be City of Greenville. That's what I say. So when I went and looked and said, well, they wanted me to appear before the 14th, which is this coming Friday at 8 o'clock. They didn't say why, or where. That's why I sent the letter, said that was my appearance. But this is issued by Greenville Department of Public Safety, not City of Greenville. Well, there isn't one of those listed either. So now that I'm the owner of the City of Greenville, right, here's my certificate again. Office of Minnesota Secretary of State, assumed name, City of Greenville. Principal place of business, and that is the address that comes right off of their website. Go ahead and show you. I mean, I'll show you how I filled the forms out and everything here in just a second, but one step at a time. There's the City of Greenville. It's just, not very big. But hey, I'm the owner. Well, let's see. All right, there's the address right there. So this is the information I used for contact information. Compared to, let me get this up here. Where is my DUNS? Oh, hang on just a second. Okay, so the City of Greenville is a corporate body politic. And since it's a corporation, whether it's nonprofit or profit, doesn't matter. It needs to be registered with the Secretary of State. And it should show up on this form here, which it didn't. And on their website, this is the address they use, City of Greenville, 411 South Lafayette, Greenville, MI 48838, right, with the 5-digit zip code. But on Dun and Bradstreet, when you look them up, it's City of Greenville with the South being, just the S instead, street. I can't remember if they did street or not. How did they do? They don't even have it on here. They don't even have street. South Lafayette, no street. Right? So they're using a completely different address with a zip code. Well, this is supposed to be a business address here. Right? But this is the address that they're using for contact. So I went with what was on this right here as being, the information for the City of Greenville. Because this website will lead you to their Muni code. One more thing to look up, right? Every city has a Muni code. So City of Greenville, Michigan, Unicode. Where are you? City of Greenville, Unicode. Is that you? Looks like you right there. Cancel. I don't want that one. Just so much easier. I'm gonna have to hang on a second. Okay, so let's read what the charter for the City of Greenville says. It says the municipal corporation now existing and known as the City of Greenville shall continue to be a body politic and corporate under the name City of Greenville and include the territory hereinafter described with power and authority to change its boundaries in the manner authorized by law. And it gives these boundaries. Now, when you read these boundaries, it says commencing in the northwest corner of Section 9, that has TN, right, and goes on. Well, there should be a number. What township is it? Should be a township number. Should be a Section 9 of some township, range 8, R8W, Montcalm County, Michigan. This whole thing isn't by the public land survey system. It's not a valid style, and it's missing information anyways. There's an omission of the township, but it's not a valid style of survey, right? You couldn't give this to a survey, say, go find this. And that's what it needs to be. The surveyor needs to be able to find the property based on the, nothing but the legal description. So it doesn't really have any jurisdiction anywhere, but it is a municipal corporation known as the City of Greenville. And in Bouvier's Law Dictionary, right, a municipality is a body of officers taken collectively belonging to a city who are appointed to manage the affairs and defend its interests. So like the city manager and the city mayor and the board, right, they're just, they're managers. Body of officers taken collectively belonging to a city who are appointed to manage the affairs and defend its interests. But I'm the owner of the city. I got a certificate. It says I'm the owner. I'm doing business as the City of Greenville. I say it's mine. And on this thing, you have to swear to it, right? By typing my name, I, the undersigned, certify that I am signing this document as the person whose signature is required or as agent of the person whose signature would be required, who has authorized me to sign this document on his or her behalf. And in the capacities, I further certify that I have completed all required fields and that the information in this document is true and correct and in compliance with the applicable chapter of the Minnesota statutes. I understand that by signing this document, I am subject to penalties of perjury as set forth in Section 60948, and if I had signed this document under oath. Signed, Robert Allen Rutluski. My mailing address, well, it's the City of Greenville. And my email address, robryder@AOL.com. So, I swear to it. Now, somebody's got to swear that that isn't mine, that I don't own that, right? That I'm not an owner of the City of Greenville. I'm not the mayor or the board, right? I'm not managing it. I'm its owner. And I think this is what they've done to us. They've taken us from having any relationship with the city. Like, we're all absentee owners and everything's been abandoned. Because the City of Greenville hadn't been recorded anywhere. But, it must be someplace because it says it's a body, that it's a municipal corporation. Right? So, well, now I'm part of the City of Greenville. I'm waiting to see what they have to say to that. Now, for those of you who haven't followed me, so what the hell is this crazy loon doing? Well, some time ago, this is all based on assumed names and doing business as and so forth, right? If you're not going to use your full legal name, Robert Allen Rutluski is my full legal name, in business, you have to have an assumed name certificate. Period. So now, if you bought your house, and you look at your warranty deed, the thing you think makes you the owner, it's not going to have your full legal name on it. Not that it should have your full legal name, but that isn't what they put on it. They're going to have put, like, for most people, they put Robert A. Rutluski, comma, an unmarried man, or something like that. They turn you into a thing somehow as the grantee. Well, because that isn't you doing business in your name, technically you should have to go down and do a assumed name certificate. And that's just one example, right? So nobody had claimed the City of Greenville was doing business as the City of Greenville in Michigan, so I claimed it. And the reason I went to Minnesota to do this is because you can do an assumed name certificate at state level in Minnesota, where in Michigan you just do it at county level. And a guy had done this after some time ago, I can't remember, God, it had to be a couple years ago now, where he had been in a foreclosure in California, and after listening to my video, he went here and he put his name that was on his court case, I believe it was, as the assumed name, and put his name, right, and used all the information as it came off of his court case, because you're talking Minnesota, right, but I'm saying Michigan. It allowed me to do it as Michigan, not Minnesota. Well, it allowed him to do California and Georgia, not Minnesota. It's just you're informing the Secretary of State. But apparently within a few days of these things happening at state level, all the other Secretary of States must somehow get a notice, because all of a sudden he got a call from California that said his foreclosure had been dismissed. So, I don't want a bunch of people calling me asking exactly how he did it, because I don't remember. I don't know what name he put on there. I think it was the name that was on his court case as the assumed name, right? The name of the defendant, just as it shows. Robert A. Rutluski, maybe et al., or Robert A. Rutluski, da-da-da-da-da, whatever name they had on the court case. Or it could have been the name that was on the warranty deed. I don't remember which one. I think the important thing is, well, it doesn't matter who's the owner, who are we saying it is, and that's you in your full legal name. You're the owner. And the Secretary of State's going to agree that you own that name. Well, now it's like you just appeared in the state of, or in Minnesota, so you're in the United States. Now they'd have to recognize you in the United States. And his story went on to say that after this happened, that a cop rolled up behind him one day, and he thought he was going to get pulled over, and all of a sudden the cop zipped around and left. And he gave his ID one time soon after that to somebody who ran it and said, "Are you on the witness protection program?" Something to that effect. I hate to tell you a story like this without having all the facts, because that isn't normally the way I do it. I'd show you the paper, right? I don't have the paper, and so that's what happened. But I have the paper to this, so we'll see what happens. And so, because Greenville Department of Public Safety doesn't exist, and it's the one that wrote this ticket, and I say now, well, I own the City of Greenville, right, which it says, here it is, it exists, and it's got all these features, such as it's got a board. It also has an attorney. So I'm going to write and the mayor of the city is supposed to be able to issue arrest warrants for offenses against the United States in accordance with 18 USC, United States Code 3041, 18 USC 3041, which is powers of courts and magistrates. And so tomorrow or today yet, or tomorrow, the next day, sometime soon, I believe that I will write to my attorney, which is the city attorney, and show him this simulated legal process that I was served, and find out what the hell them people are doing in what are these people doing in my building, right? Because the Greenville Department of Public Safety is in the City Hall, which is for the City of Greenville, and this isn't the City of Greenville. There's nothing on here that says City of Greenville. Somebody's running an illegal business out of my freaking garage. I'm not very happy with that. They're going to have to go. Okay, so let me show you how you fill the form out, just real quick. What did they give you? But they give you that page, and then they give you this. Oh, they allowed me to have an attachment, so I put my SS4 on there to show that I do have one with an EIN number, and it's all been signed, sealed, and delivered by the Secretary of State. Then they send you another acknowledgement, Dear City of Greenville, right? Send it to me at my email address, so they agree I'm the City of Greenville because it came to my email address. How did I do that? Well, if you went on and found the website, which is not too hard to find, right? Um, Minnesota Secretary of State online registration or something like that. Business filings online. I put in the name City of Greenville, and it came back that it was available. Good enough for me. The next page is add name holders, right? So enter the full name and complete address of each person or organization conducting business under the assumed name. Well, that would be Robert Allen Rutluski. That's my full name and the full name of the business, right? I did it as an organization, not as an individual. If I had done it as an individual, it had a first name block, middle initial, last name block, or may have even had a middle name block. I don't remember, but it wouldn't matter. I'd have put it first name Robert Allen, last name Rutluski, and not do a middle name. Because the reason for that is Social Security doesn't use your middle name as a legal name. They're supposed to, but they don't, right? They actually violate the federal law, and they say that they do. So, to get around that from now on, I'm just going to say, well, I don't have a middle name. My given name is Robert Allen, which it is, and my last name is Rutluski. But I did it as an organization, well, because I have an EIN for Robert Allen Rutluski as a business, right? Robert Allen Rutluski, the business, is owned by Robert Allen Rutluski, the owner. But it's the business that is the owner of the City of Greenville, right? 10955 14 Mile Road Northeast with my unit number, Rockford with the 5-digit zip. I'm doing this like it's on my SS4 form. Principal place of business, and I took this address, right, off of where it said here, contact, right, because I'm saying this is the physical location, just like my physical location, without a +5 or without a +4 zip code. And I took that. Nothing there. Well, I think I'm showing you that's the address I use, that one right there, right? It doesn't say street, That's very interesting that it didn't say street. I didn't really notice that till now. It doesn't say street, lane, road, just Lafayette. Mailing address. Well, that's the address that I took off of the DUNS number address, right? This address. City of Greenville. Now you can find that by, this is just DNB, see, DNB.com, and you can look up DUNS numbers, and you search for, and you got a choice, my company or other company. You put in other company, and put in City of Greenville in Michigan. That's the minimum you can put in, or you can put in a phone number, which is another way to do it, and hit search. And, I wanted the headquarters. So there you are. Right now, just because I can, and it's interesting to do, let me try this. Business phone, 616-712-6179. That's my phone number. Hey, there I am. Robert Allen Rutluski, 10955 14 Mile Road Northeast, Unit 55, Rockford, Michigan, 49341-8664. Yeah. Okay, hang on just a second. Okay, so mailing address from the DUNS D&B page. City of Greenville, right? That one right there, headquarters. Add an attachment. So I did. I uploaded a file and I put my copy of my EIN number, my SS4 form on there. Add delivery information. Provide the contact and delivery information below. Documents will be sent electronically unless noted otherwise. Name, Robert Allen, Britluski, right? I don't have a middle name. Robert Allen with my email address and a phone number. Add client reference information, useful records. Okay, so I put the ticket number in as a tickler, basically. This ties everything together. Add email for official notices. Well, that was robryder@aol.com. And then they have this Minnesota business snapshot. It's voluntary. I click veteran because I am, but I really didn't do the rest of it. I just click veteran. And finally, hey, original filing, assumed name review, right? Business name, City of Greenville, $50 cost me to buy it, but hey, it's worth it. Name holders, Robert Allen Britluski at my address with Unit 55. Principal address is, the address that's on the website. Mailing address, well, that's the one that was off of Dun & Bradstreet. Uploaded my EIN. Yep. Like it. Yep. Email address. Yeah, it's good. Good. Delivery. Sure. Contact me. Yes, contact me. Robert Allen Britluski. I'm the one to talk to. I'm the owner of the business that's doing business as City of Greenville. Everything was done. Hit submit. Signature. Right, by typing your name, yada, 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 you're going to swear under penalties of oath. Yeah, I did. Yes, I did. There it is. I did it. I swear to it. Continue to make payment. Right, got an order number. Paid him my money. Takes you to this page here, which you either, if you have US Bank, you can log in, or you can pay without registering, which I did. Right, gave him the information that I'm using on my card. And next thing you know, Jed's a millionaire. He owns the City of Greenville. It was that simple. Right, and next thing I know, I look at my email box and they were quick. They did this on a Saturday. I don't think I'd barely hit, send. And I'm getting a filing. The filing of an assumed name does not provide the user with exclusive rights to that name. The filing is required for consumer protection in order to enable customers to be able to identify the true owners of the business. I am a member of the City of Greenville. Right? It's a business. And now I've, registered my membership. I don't think they're going to see that one coming. Thank you, Jesus. All of a sudden this came to my head. It's like, wow, Lord, I'll go do that. So I went and checked, and the name was available, and I said, that's just too easy. I'm going to have to go and claim me a city. So, anybody else that lived in the City of Greenville, apparently they could go do the same thing. Go ahead. Go claim the City of Greenville and see if you can too. Claim a share. Because here's one of the things about the City of Greenville. Or any municipality, like County of Kalkaska, County of Kent, County of whatever, right, is they have to do an annual audit. It could be called a comprehensive annual financial report, or, whatever the proper name would be. But when you get down to it, somewhere on here, it'll tell you what the net is. In fact, instead of me doing this with, it shouldn't take too long. It wasn't that far down here. Management discussion, overview. Where is the net? The assets and deferred outflows of the city exceeded its liabilities and deferred inflows at the close of the fiscal year by 37,989,192, shown as net position. Right? What's net? Well, you get rid of all your liabilities, and whatever you have left is your net. Well, I got $37 million in my business. I want a freaking dividend check. So I'm going to ask him for too, my dividend check. So that's next, right? I'll be reporting on that as I get time to do it and so forth. But it was easy enough to do, right? It was all based on them giving me a ticket that's, was in the city of Greenville, but this doesn't say the city of Greenville. It says city of Greenville, capital, but not city of Greenville, which is the proper name. So somebody is simulating a legal process in the city of Greenville, right? Which is this place here. Where are you? Right, this is the city of Greenville. Somebody's going to have to explain how this entity that has the municipal corporation existing and known as the City of Greenville now has a thing called the Greenville Department of Public Safety. I think somebody may have broke the law. Somebody might have to go to jail. I wonder if they did it under penalty of perjury. We're going to have to find out. Okay, hey, that was all I really wanted to show you. I don't know what it means yet, but I own City of Greenville, not Boardwalk. On Monday, March 11th, 2019. Rob Ryder's email address, quarterrecord@AOL.com. My phone number. Hey, and until they pay, if you could donate a little bit, I could use it because I'm still going to make payments. I hope you can. And stay tuned for more. Got more great things to talk about in the future, I'm sure. We'll see you, though. Bye-bye.